superior, ain't none above us. We doing numbers. Gang in the building, we taking it over. Call the promoters. I just put up in this thing with my soldiers. I blew it and I'm still. Last minute I'ma need me some. Call up Khalifa. Bring them in the. You know I stay with some bad little baby.
First opened in 2002. There's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Washington Commanders and the Detroit Lions. The first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead, and we're off in week 2. From the end zone, here comes Williams. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive. And a short 3-yard pickup gets him up to the 15. Well, this defense for the Commanders is terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
Anytime you can hold a team to less than 10 points, your expectation of winning that game has to be sky high. In fact, you'd be absolutely stunned to come away with a loss in that one. Could you imagine going to the press conference and trying to explain that?
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. A play fake for Swift. Now Goff. To the right side. It's caught by Mitchell. So the completion good for just 3. And that'll bring us to a 3rd and 4. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Gone. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away. Taken in at the 22. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Here's Gibson to start the drive. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Working from the gun. Wentz. Got this complete to Jahan Dotson. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. They give him 16 yards there, and it's a Washington 1st down.
First down catch there by Jahan Dotson. You get the sense watching him that his ascent is only just beginning. More catches, yards, and touchdowns every year at Penn State, and played his way into the 1st round. A tremendous athlete, he also runs routes with great intelligence.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. Moving backwards on first down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on second down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. And when I looked down, he was kind of shaking his head right after he threw that pass. What did you see?
Well, from a defense's perspective, anytime you have your eyes back towards the quarterback, you're in a position to make a play on the ball, whether it's a big-time play by you or an overthrow by the quarterback. You have a much better opportunity.
After the interception, here's Goff. He's airing it out for Williams. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here.
That incompletion certainly slows things down a little bit and brings up a very important call for second and long. What do? Run and try and get some yardage and make it third and manageable? Or challenge the coverage again, hoping for a bigger gain?
14.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Goff. That throw taken in by Jameson Williams. A big play there for Detroit. And even 40 yards.
We spent a lot of time talking about what's going on the field. How about off the field with the evaluation? And they spent a lot of time saying, we've got to get a rookie in here who has big playability. And that's exactly what we're seeing.
And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. No surprise there. Chase Young wrecks that play with a sack.
There's a lot of discussion in the offseason about him having a big year and getting to the quarterback. They held him without a sack in week 1, but how about here? Finally gets his first one of the season.
In the offseason, said he changed his diet, leaner, feels so good this year. Excited to see what type of a season he can have. 2nd and goal from the 6 this time. Goff, a handoff here to Swift. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. The defense was ready for the run-pass option, diagnosed it perfectly.
Not only did they stack him up at the point of attack, but he was met by a host of light-colored jerseys.
And now can they reverse the trend on 3rd and goal with the last 2 plays having gone backwards? Goff now looks to throw. It is intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Bobby McCain. And the Commanders are going to take over at their own 2-yard line. And the defense, Charles, they bit a little bit, but they did not break. And then on 3rd and goal there, the huge interception.
Think of the momentum they're carrying with them right now, Brandon, because in their mind, whether they want to admit it or not, they were conceding 3 points. Their goal was to keep them at the end zone, not give up a touchdown. Instead, they give up nothing. What a big-time play and a big-time stop by them.
Taken down on the play by Aiden Hutchinson.
Really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. Because I remember playing in these spots, and my coach was always saying, don't be afraid to try and create a safety, too. They're going to bring pressure.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. In his own end zone, it's Wentz. He'll get this into the hands of Antonio Gibson. And he's able to get this one up to the 8-yard line this time. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
So a much rosier picture now after that last play. Here's 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line. Shotgun handoff to Gibson. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. No score after one on EA Sports. On 2nd and 9, Wentz flush to his right, slings this deep from McLaurin. And that is caught at the 10-yard line. A huge play there for Washington, and even 70 yards. I tell you, when Carson Wentz can really step into one and get that 6'5" frame behind it, he can really launch it.
And how about how he improvised right there, because he got flushed out of the pocket, locked eyes with his wide receiver, who knew to just keep running, and he was able to lay that one out there for him to run under.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
When people talk about plays being blown up, that's exactly what they're talking about. That's Exhibit A for physical play.
So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. One more time with Gibson. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. Now Wentz. And it's caught. Touchdown, Washington. Antonio Gibson, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Commanders drive the entire length of the field, 99 yards for the score. Extra point by Sly is up and good, and that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. From the end zone, here comes Williams. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Goff. And connecting here with DJ Shark. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A first down there on a pickup of 25. Here's a handoff to Swift running left. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Deron Payne, the big D tackle there to make the stop. The Lions had 0-1 in the year following the loss in the opener, and they were given a gift of 2 straight home games to start the campaign. Dropped one of them already. You have to figure a split of these two probably imperative.
And they did talk about that with us prior to the game, about how important it is to start the season 1-1, especially with 2 games at home. Because if you go 0-2, hard to make those up on the road as the season progresses.
That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a 3rd down and 12. It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. Throwing on third. Gone. Over the middle, complete. That's Mitchell. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 43. Great way to convert on third down there. 21 yards to play.
And that's well executed there on third down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. This offense hoping to avoid the 0-2 start. They trail, but they've got a 1st and 10 here. Here's Goff. He'll rifle this one deep right side. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Benjamin St-Juste. And the Commanders are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line. Second straight drive now here, Charles, and him ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, but I also wonder if it's going to unnerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one, or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Oh, he's hit. He lost the football. Put it on the carpet. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
You can admire his willingness to sacrifice his body to try and pick up the first down, and I do, but let's face it. You know his coaches are going to warn him about diving or extending for a marker for this exact reason. So much easier to have the ball knocked free when you're extended like that. So if you're going to dive, you got to make sure you secure the football, which he didn't.
Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. To throw is gone. The quick slant caught. And in for the Lions touchdown. T.J. Hockenson from 3 yards out. And the Lions are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. Extra point by Seibert up and good. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units, and they kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now and get some points on this drive.
On second down, a run with Gibson. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. Wentz now on first down. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. The Commanders going to use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Taking a shot for Samuel. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. This will be caught. It's Samuel on the move past the 40, down the right sideline. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Now a signal and a timeout call, as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. Wentz forced out to his left. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
Sly able to put this one through, but now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about. So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away. Fields the squib kick right around the 30. So we have come upon halftime, and it's the visiting group from Washington who are out on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. So Washington in a good spot. They've got the lead. They will get the football as the second half gets underway. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And despite the turnovers, Charles, and they had multiple in that first half, they still have the lead as they begin this 3rd quarter.
And they probably heard some conflicting tones at the half, don't you think? A lot of praise for what they did to get this lead, but also a little bit of scolding because they got to take better care of the football in the second half. But you and I both know the great leaders, they know how to give that little bit of vinegar in there and cover it with a big dose of honey.
Wentz gonna throw. And he completes this one to Terry McLaurin. And he's got room. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Commanders come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the 3rd quarter. Extra point by Sly is up and good, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. And Williams going to sit. It'll be a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that leads you into bigger errors.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now a give, right side Swift. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. We're backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Here's Goff. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Benjamin St-Juste. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. And that's now a half dozen interceptions for him over the last 2 games. Because CD, remember, he threw 3 in the last ball game and now 3 more here.
And the way that you present it, partner, I'm not sure what sounds worse, right? Half a dozen over the last 2 games or 3 the last game, 3 this game. Either way, it's way too many. And that's something they'll have to work on, hoping to get through the rest of this game.
Touchdown! 3 touchdown passes now for Carson Wentz. And the Commanders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Sly on for the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17.
This makes the score Commanders 24, Lions 7.
Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. No run back here for Raymond. This will be a touchback. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Here's Goff now on 2nd down. And this one is incomplete.
At this point in the game, in the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now it's Goff. He's got this complete to Williams. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football. Right now, I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Commanders are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is a team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
A gain of right around 35 yards on a play that started back inside their 10.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially that 1st half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
This offense really looking polished these first couple of weeks. Here's 1st and 10. Gibson again. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 79 yards rushing now for Gibson. He's got a 1st down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hughes. There he goes, right side. Past the 20. And he will bring it back. An interception return for the Lions touchdown. Boy, a big play right there. I mean, a touchdown on this drive could have really put some separation on the scoreboard. Instead, it's the defense who scores. And, partner, we got a game again.
And we do have one because of what you just described. A defense that understood what was going on in this game and did something about it. They knew their offense needed some help. They just provided it. They're back in this one.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Now Wentz to try again after the pick six. Looking long for Thomas. It got his man complete. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
I'm pretty sure any quarterback will tell you it's nice to have a tight end that can stretch the field. And how about him right there, working in the heart of the defense, and they connect on a very nice play downfield, a combination of talent and toughness to go into the briar patch.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
7 yards there and a first down.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
So 2nd and 10 now here in the third quarter from Detroit. To throw, it's Wentz. Targeting Thomas on the out route, making the catch. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. That gain of 15 gets him on the doorstep, 1st and goal. It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll run with Gibson. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Well, no doubt here in the fourth quarter, this is a huge defensive series.
Hey, they can read the scoreboard. They realize if they give up a field goal here, this game might be out of reach. They understand the stakes and are playing accordingly.
2nd down and goal. Wentz. Touchdown, Washington. Carson Wentz with touchdown pass number 4 on the afternoon. And the Commanders are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this fourth quarter lead. The extra point by Sly is up and good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. Here comes Khalif Raymond from his end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
So now following the sack, often the Lions needing to come up with something here on 3rd and long. On play action, they'll throw. And Shark calls it in. And they work this out past the 25. A real letdown defensively. That was 3rd and a bundle, but they allow the conversion. Open man, he's got him, the tight end, Hockenson. Only able to gain a couple there, and that'll bring up second down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target.
Goff on target to Hockenson.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. Goff throwing again. He's got it to Williams. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards.
A three-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad. Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion.
And now here is another interception.
Picked off by Benjamin St-Juste.
And the Commanders are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line.
Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard. But also, you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming.
Straight ahead, Gibson.
And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. He could muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Washington on 3rd down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. Now a play fake. Wentz.
Open man is the tight end, John Bates. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
No let up in this passing game. They've been a well-oiled machine throughout. And I actually saw a few guys on the sidelines at the end of the 3rd quarter doing the old hold up 4 fingers college sign, meaning the 4th quarter is ours. And they certainly weren't kidding.
A give up the middle to Gibson.
And he is going to lose yardage here. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or 2.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 25-yard line. A new set of downs after a strong pickup of 16 yards. A handoff running left is Gibson. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. On the counter, Gibson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. Wentz now to throw. That's going to be caught. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll try to run with Gibson. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Well, this was a very close ball game at halftime, Charles, but in the second half, that offense kind of kicked things into another gear, and they were able to pull away for the victory.
And, Brad, I think they're the type of team that just looked in the mirror and said, hey, ton of pressure on, but we're the type of team that can flat out handle it. They stood up with confidence, and made it happen for a victory.
So for Washington, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll return home next week to take on the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, for Detroit, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll be off to Minneapolis next week for a look at new U.S. Bank Stadium and a date with the Vikings.